guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are going to go over the top 10 most common mistakes to avoid as a new college student. This is the second video of my new college series, so if you haven't seen the first video, do go ahead and make sure you check that out. I am a senior. Technically, I'm going in on my 5th year, but I'm only going to be in for one more semester. So I'm graduating December 2022. I am almost done. I've been around the block. I've been in college before COVID, during COVID, and we're in the tail end of it, and I'm still here. So if you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below and I will answer those, and I might actually make a video over it. But before we get into this video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so you don't miss any more of my videos, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So this first piece of advice, do not sign up for an 8:30 a.m. class. It is not like high school. It is not fun, okay? It's terrible. 10:30 or no 30, okay? Anything above 10:30, I can't promise my attendance because I'm probably still sleeping. Mistake number 2 is approaching college courses like high school courses. I made this mistake my first year and a half of college. I didn't get it through my head. I need to actually study hard. An hour a day keeps the bad grades away. And this is for every class you're enrolled in. Give it an hour a day. Out of homework, not including extra stuff you have to do for your class. This is just studying, reading, just going over your notes you've already written. Advice number 3, this is do not buy your textbooks. About 75% of the time, you're gonna be told by your professor your textbook is required. I recommend waiting a week or two, just kind of get a feel for the course. If you've got homework that's directly associated with that textbook, I would go ahead and get it. But if you do have to get it, do not allow for direct bill unless it's, again, associated with a homework. If it's not associated with a homework platform, go ahead and cancel that direct bill. It's always more expensive to do the direct bill for a textbook. So what I recommend doing is going to Amazon. Even if it's just to do Amazon rental, it is so much cheaper to go through Amazon. Your bookstore, even if they have used textbooks or rental textbooks, they're still going to be pretty expensive. Amazon is 100% the cheapest way to go. This goes into number 4, and that is don't bring your textbook to class unless it is asked of you. Especially in lecture halls, professors aren't going to be like, okay, pull out your textbooks and wait for 150 plus students to pull out their textbooks and open to page X. But you're going to be doing a lot of walking in college, so you don't want to be carrying those extra heavy textbooks. I am saving your back by telling you don't bring them. Bring the bare minimum. It's not like high school. You don't need it. So number 5 is kind of one of those things that a lot of people tell you to do, but they don't actually tell you why you shouldn't do it. And that is don't wear your ID around your neck. And if you want to wear it, but be cautious, okay? You need to treat your ID as if it was a debit or credit card. Your ID is directly associated with your meal plan. So with my college, we had a dining hall where we just go to whatever restaurant we want to go to. With your ID, you can also charge it like a credit card, and it will be directly charged to your Bursar account. So if you want to buy a new laptop or shirts or something, you can use your ID and charge your Bursar. The number's essentially similar to a credit or debit card. So if someone took a picture of it, they could in theory take it to these places and be like, oh, I forgot my ID, but I have the numbers. So if you have no numbers, wear those IDs loud and proud, like wave them around your neck, be all cool with it, because that's awesome. You were in college, be excited. But if you've got numbers on it, make sure you just be cautious of that because you never know. Mistake number 6, this is don't bring highlighters or colored pens or sticky notes to class, again, unless it is asked. This is because you don't have time to color code your notes. Type your notes or just write them real sloppy on paper, and then outside of class, that's when you can color code, make them nice and fancy, and that can actually be considered your hour a day, keeps the bad grades away because you're going over your notes. If you're in class highlighting information, it can inevitably make you miss some important information or just make you behind on all the notes. The next piece of advice is make sure you go to your professor's office hours. Professors have a very good memory with people who go out of their way to introduce themselves or ask questions. They will memorize you because not many people actually go to office hours. Even if you know the answer to the question, just ask them a question once a week, twice a week. Just let them see you, email them, ask them a question even if you know the answer, but they're remembering that you went out of your way. Let's say you made a little hiccup and on their own discretion can be like, well, I see what she did here. This was a mistake. So I know this person, I know they know how to do this, and they might give you the point to it or partial credit. The next piece of advice that I'm going to give you is give yourself at least a week to study all the material for exams. In high school, I never studied. Sometimes I give myself the night before, but that's not enough. In college, per semester, you are taught one whole whole textbook. So you're being taught a lot of information and you're going to be tested on a lot of detail-oriented information. And if you only give yourself one day to study, that's not going to be enough. So the 9th most common mistake to avoid is driving to class. So schools do oversell like lots, or spots on the lot. So there are times where if everyone showed up, they would exceed the amount of available slots. But students who don't live anywhere near campus, they have to be able to park. So you of course have to drive on some campuses, but if you especially live on campus, like you're in a sorority or you are on a dorm or an apartment on campus that's an apartment for your school and not an apartment that's independent from your school, just don't drive. You really never know if everyone's going to show up and you don't have parking, and that's taking time away from being on class on time. A lot of professors lock the door. There's no one coming in after about 5 minutes. So if you're running late, you're probably going to end up being counted absent. The last common mistake to avoid is consider going to a community college. I was that person that everyone I knew was telling me, well, consider going to a community college first. And I always thought, because I am a first-generation college student, that maybe it was because they didn't believe in me. You are saving thousands of dollars, but my actual tuition is going to be close to about $7,000 this semester. I know so many people who are like, oh, it's only $2,500 where I'm at, and I'm like, what? And that's not including the fees you have to pay for in college. That's infrastructure fee. You also have to pay a success fee. You gotta pay miscellaneous fee. What are you miscellaneousing? I don't know if that's a word, but there's something that's miscellaneous that I'm paying for. I don't know what. I'm guessing a gym membership. Like, what are you saying to me, sis? I know my school is considered the healthiest campus in all the country. Not mentally, I tell you. My mental health has gone down a straight downward spiral, like one of those very fun roller coasters of just fear and anxiety and depression. Like, that's my life in this school. You're paying for a lot of fees, and I don't even know what half of them are. I did, in fact, change my major from physiology to political science, and if I would have gone to a community college, it would have been less of a hassle, and it would have been the same amount of time of just getting my prereqs out of the way, which are so much easier at a community college and cheaper, and I would have had time to then determine, okay, what do I want to do, versus going to university and taking courses I didn't need. But anyways, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Also, make sure you ask questions down below. I would love to help anybody out. If you have advice for anybody, please leave that down below. I don't know everything, so there might be something that I didn't even think to give advice on, and if you have that advice, please leave it down below. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe. Also, turn on that bell notification so you can get notified for any college related video that I make. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!